Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic. I remember it so you don't have to. Well, after insulting our rights to be human beings with Kickassia, the Nostalgia Critic moved on to even longer projects. That's not what I meant. He did Suburban Nights. Nothing like paying homage to a genre like doing everything you can to destroy it. Suburban Nights tries everything in its power to make sure that not only does it take a hit at every single fantasy film it can think of, but also to make sure you never want to see any of those films again because of it. So, let's take a look at what's bigger, longer, and uncut. Again, not what I was talking about. This is Suburban Nights. So if you ever wondered what Bill and Ted's mutilated love child looks like, we open up with him driving a car, picking up a hitchhiker.
Hey, buddy! Need a lift?
Yes, I'm looking for a ride to the Dresden Files.
What do you think of the 21st century, Bill?
Dude, what are you on? Because I totally want some.
Whoa! Okay, somebody's movie forgot to take its depression medication. I mean, I thought this was like fun, adventure, people in dress-up fantasy, ooh, all sorts of whimsical comedy. Did I put in the wrong movie? I mean, the back of the film says it's a hilarious adventure with non-stop fun. Maybe if you call it an arsonist Christmas? Well, nothing to follow up that heavy load of serious than a jubilant Puerto Rican in red and white shoes. Doesn't every heavy dramatic moment follow with that? But it turns out the car is just a scam provided by the NC, who tricks his producers in coming on an adventure with him.
Well, already the credits are terrible.
Don't review it! Ow! Yeah, telling someone on the internet not to review something is like telling an idiot not to watch TMZ. So they find out that a role-playing geek named Jaffers read a rare, expensive gauntlet thinking that it had some sort of magical powers. And the NC wants his team to go find it. But wait! We need some sort of forced way to get them into silly costumes. Apparently he rigged this as a role-playing game in order to find it. Everybody has to get dressed up and act like a fantasy character in order to figure out what these riddles mean. Brilliant! And I bet the quiet game while babysitting has no other motives either. So the next day, the team shows up in a routine that feels like it lasts a suburban night, and they show off their characters and costumes.
Come, Aslan. Rockbiter.
Mononoke Hime desu.
Expecto to Robitussin. Peter Pan, the little rapscallion who will never grow up.
Christ, this isn't the Mickey Mouse Club! Not everybody needs an intro to themselves! Unless you're this guy, in which case you make it the most pansy intro that you can fathom. So, after a few minutes that feels like a few ice ages, we finally get the journey started. Well, sort of. You see, the downside here is that Mati,
From Captain Planet.
wants to come along too. But nobody wants him because, well, he's Mati.
From Captain Planet.
Nostalgia Chick fakes losing a contact lens to distract him, and thus, only 40 minutes in, they finally get the story going. They split into two teams and start searching for the treasure. But the path is paved with many obstacles.
Oh, puny mortals, I am the defender of this path.
Okay, if this is a taste of some of the obstacles we're gonna get in this movie, I say the obstacles from Double Dare are more intimidating. But Mr. Flibbles, it turns out, is more threatening than led to believe, and it seems no one can fight him off. This looks like a job for an Enya music video. So the confusion seems to work, and the team continues on. Meanwhile, the other team seems to be moving right along as well, but two team members don't seem to be having the highest hopes.
Listen, Great White North. I know you think you're hot shit around here, but let's make one thing clear. Mr. Critic is mine, do you understand?
I'm his personal ball washer, and don't you forget it.
Well, if I'm so insignificant, then why are you bringing this up?
You're a pea.
Did you just call me a pea?
And now it's time to play How Far Will You Go for a Forced Joke?
This is you, and you're screaming to all the other peas, "Oh, save me! Oh, save me! He's gonna eat me!" But I've already eaten the other peas.
Wow, that's a lot of peas.
Yeah.
And I'm just full of them.
Right.
I am totally full of pea-ness.
You got it.
So, what are you gonna do?
I will eat your penis!
can't wait to see what that's gonna be because I'm gonna edit it in later, but needless to say, that's a long time! But they come across the Nas goofs who tell them that they cannot pass any further. To make things worse, it seems that they actually do have magical powers, which leads to the typical Channel Awesome battle cry,
Wait yourselves and run!
Back with Team 1, we see them taking a break, as obnoxiously mugging for the camera every second they're on takes a lot of energy out of them. This leads to, this scene.
Well, there's a certain article of clothing that you have on that you may not be used to.
And as such, there's a certain etiquette you might want to keep in mind while you're wearing it.
What are you talking about? Jesus, I feel like my senses just got one of those combo hits from those Capcom fighting games! What are you talking about?
Frozen Shot wins. Bolelity.
Mati eventually finds the missing contact, funny seeing how Nostalgia Chick never actually dropped a contact, which means the NC has to think of another way to get rid of him.
There's another special mission that we need you for.
And let's see, because there isn't enough material for male porn fan fiction in this movie.
Mickey likes goats. Goats? This is a problem that he has to live with every day. Look at the anger on that face. Look how tormented he is. That is years and years of pain building up.
You know, it's amazing how much abuse a certain someone can take, and how much humiliation a film can put that certain someone through. And I, just like you, see it and acknowledge it. Leave the goats alone, Nostalgia Cricket! There is nothing wrong with animals wanting to express themselves sexually. If there was, we'd see this everywhere. But the trick works, and the team goes along their merry way. The other team, on the other hand, is not doing so well. More penis jokes, please! Seriously, the humor in this movie is on par with the birthday cards you get at Spencer's.
At last, a worthy place to call our battlefield.
Well, it only figures this is where adult children would end up.
Bring it! Bring it! Bring it!
Why is it I get the feeling this is why parents tell their kids to stay away from certain people at playgrounds?
Excuse me!
But the powers that be and their kids put the fight to a halt.
We must make haste to another battlefield, one where parents' permission matters not!
And our team manages to escape, leaving the map behind. Our walking Broadway musical doesn't have much better luck when they come across a foe even more horrifying than a puppet cat. I know, try to imagine.
Hello.
It's Sarah Palin dressed up as a Chuck Jones witch. But once again, the obstacle seems to be more dangerous than expected.
You will perish in the flaming pits of hell.
My God, she manages to hit everything except what she's actually trying to hit. Handsome Tom manages to mace her as the rest of the crew wonders just how powerful their enemies are. Meanwhile, a Corinsta Dunce lookalike comes across the map, but Gandalf the Black has other plans.
Well, if it's not yours, I'm taking it. Finders keepers.
Well, at least she didn't have to star in Spider-Man 3. In a strange turn for the moment, he seems to return the map and then suddenly vanishes away, giving these guys just enough time to vanish in. Kind of odd they didn't use that before.
My name is Inigo Montoya, motherfucker!
And kind of odd he didn't use that before.
King Kong ain't got nothing on me!
For the 6 of you that remember Training Day, you're laughing your asses off now! But if there's anything history has taught us, is that Americans know how to screw the Brits. Thus, Film Brain gets captured and is turned into one of the cloaks. While that's going on, the other teammates come across the location of the man who started it all, Chuck Jaffers, who was banished into a book and cursed to forever carry a bad Rick Moranis impression.
Oh yeah, he found out what I was doing and wasn't too happy. That dude is messed up.
He tells them that the man following them is Malachite, and that he's using them to find his magic gauntlet so he can have his full power back. But in a pretty out-of-nowhere turn, Jaffers decides he hates the critics and decides to be their enemy.
Hey man, thanks for letting me stay here for 30 years. I was trapped in a book.
A line which will live in infamy. So the Cloaks decide their gang already looks enough like a Monty Python sketch without the British's help. Thus they decide to ditch him and drive away.
Wait, come back! Look at me if I'm We had cars! Why were we walking the whole time?
No, that's actually a legit question. Why were they walking the whole time? The team gets him back and eventually hypnotizes him to his normal self. Or as normal as film brain can be. This leads them to the final location where they find a light that I think is voiced by the irate gamer, who tells them the backstory of our villain Malachite.
The alchemist was named Aeon, the sorcerer was named Malachite. The king told Aeon he wanted to devote all his power into creating the strongest force on Earth. So Aeon responded, "In reason and science is where our future lies."
You know, for a story told on sandpaper, it's really not that bad. You will believe an epic tale can be told by a person with a Jersey accent.
So Malachite stopped using magic, allowing him to live longer and longer, watching the world of magic fade and the world of science and technology consume the Earth.
And of course, it's always refreshing, having heard such a heavy story, to return to a bunch of asshats in Halloween costumes. Tone, you are set. This leads them to the final location of the gauntlet, which it turns out is right back where they started.
It's right back where we started!
And no, you can't get your hour and a half back. By the way, that dude in the suede comes back also. I guess he escaped New Zealand through the mines of Moria. And he shows them the location of the gauntlet, which now turns out to be a power glove.
I'm not gonna lie. That is friggin' awesome.
Nice. That's like Indiana Jones looking for the Ark of the Covenant, and it turns out it's a TurboGrafx 16. Unfortunately, they're attacked by the clearance sale at Hot Topic, and they use their magic and such to try and stop them. But fortunately, the rest of the team comes in to save the day.
Grows out shot. Wins. Duality.
It seems like the day is won, but the evil Michael Jackson backup dancer wants what is rightfully his. And pretty much gets it. Idiot! The team seems to suffer through the Ninja Turtles movie syndrome, as none of them figure out it would actually make more sense to attack him all at once instead of one at a time. Oh curses, if only we had an obnoxious plot resolution taken from a cameo that's been exploited to ridiculous degrees. That's right, Mati has the ring to defeat Malachite. How did he get the ring? Why was it passed down to him? When did he ever get it to begin with? Never answered. I'm just assuming his family's a bunch of thieving gypsies. Thus, Malachite is defeated. But at what cost? Oh, just a small Indian boy. That's not too bad.
The power is yours.
Oh.
And just in case you had any question about liking these characters before, they burn up his body and shove him into an oatmeal can. Kindness and decency, thy names are Suburban Knights. They launch him into the sky, and it seems the NC has to deal with death.
Unless you were out looking for the Necronomicon or something.
Necronomicon, huh?
Oh my god, I want a car!
To be excitingly continued in a brief side video on the DVD extras. Adventure? This film is stupid. The writing is stupid. The characters are stupid. The only words that seem to be leaving my lips are stupid. So I'll just say it again. Stupid, stupid, stupid. But is this the last that the Nostalgia Cricket has to offer us? Well, what other genre can be destroyed that they haven't touched yet? Nah, that was destroyed a long time ago.